So David's already here with us, our next speaker. He's going to talk about reclaiming the economic relevance of Rio through nature and technology from Mata. Thank you so much, David, for being here with us today at IP. We're running a little bit late on time, so I'm going to just jump right in. But welcome, the floor is all yours. We can already see you on the full screen.
Thank you for the invitation, and I'm going to try to be quite objective on the conversation. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thanks, Hugo, for the invitation too. I think the best is to share a quick presentation about what we're doing, if it's okay for you. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. I hope so.
We can see it. It looks beautiful. I love the designs of Mata. I'm always so jealous.
Cool.
Okay, we can see your full screen. You can go ahead now.
Does the slide move? Just to know, yes?
Looking great.
Cool, perfect. Okay. So in 2 minutes, what we are, Mata is a company which is quite recent. In fact, even if we started our project a long time ago, we are operating since only 3 to 4 years. And basically what we do is to try to create what we call nature positive cities or urban experience ecosystems. We dig into mainly the south hemisphere, and we look for like big lands, and we try to transform what we call lower order systems into higher order systems. Meaning that we take land, we regenerated these lands, which normally are abandoned heritage estates. We try to relate these places through nature, craftsmanship, and creativity. This creativity can go from like technology to art, to culture, or to some other like experiences and operations we have. We have a unique model in the world where we are trying to, in a way, own the properties, so own the hardware, but also own the software, meaning own all the operation and experience. We are able to create the lifestyle of the people that connect to us and that become our friends or clients all around. The vision we have is a vision of regeneration. This is an important point for us that we try to promote the ethical and aesthetical values of the South, because we come from the South. We are based originally in Brazil, and all our projects, I will show them to you in 2 seconds, they are mostly in the South hemisphere of the world. And we have like 6 biomes. So like 6 verticals: hospitality, food and beverage, regenerative business, which is a B2B part of what we do, culture, fashion, design and beauty, and finally longevity and well-being. And we see ourselves as a portal, and we try to be healers of people who get connection with us. The projects we have all around the world are, most of them starting in Brazil, with São Paulo, which is already in action and operating. Then Salvador and Rio de Janeiro and Camboriú in Brazil, and we have 3 projects outside of Brazil, 2 in Qatar, 1 small and 1 big, in fact 3, Saudi Arabia and Albania. I'm going to show you in 2 minutes São Paulo, and then we're going to focus on Rio. São Paulo, we started buying the land 15 years ago, and we've been building on it. It's interesting because it was like, I will not say an abandoned part of the city, but a very low valuated part of the city in general, and we end up making it maybe one of the most desirable places of São Paulo. This is the picture of our compound in São Paulo. Our mix of activities is always toward experiences and very few products in general, because we've seen that people were not very interested in getting connected and buying product, but much more living their life in community around more experience. This is a big shift in economy in general. We see that with sports, we see like with live events like music, but we see that in general in the consumption pattern of the people all around the world. As I was saying, we own the property, we curate and operate the experiences, and we build the communities. Our end game is not owning properties. Part of them we own, part of them we don't sell them, or sometimes we are in partnership with people who own. We like to operate the thing, but at the end of the day, what's interesting us is connecting with people and creating this relationship with people. Most of our operations are app first, So people to get into physical world has to go through the digital first. And this is a kind of new model. This is a big picture of what we have in São Paulo. We are already running 60% to 70% of our activities in São Paulo. We have 40,000 square meters of land, 160,000 square meters that are built, and we are expecting 15 million people in São Paulo. Right, I'm going to show you in 2 minutes some pictures of what we've done in São Paulo. So we started with a very AAA destination, which is a Rosewood Hotel, all made with Brazilian artists and Brazilian ingredients in general, the wood, the stones, the fabrics, everything is Brazilian here, which is a new way of doing some kind of luxury. We hosted the first Soho House of South America too in our compound. And then some pictures of spaces that you can see. So we have restaurants. This is a big trattoria. 2,000 people a day are coming here and eating every day. We opened that in December. We have a more high-end like destination, like a steakhouse, for instance. This restaurant is an activist gastronomic restaurant. We only work with leftovers as a way of like showing how we can make regeneration. We have a big equipment of culture and entertainment. Some shows that we opened, like Anish Kapoor that we did, another show with Eva Jospin. Right now we are doing a show with Devlin, which is the biggest scenographer in the world. She's doing the show for Beyoncé, Kaylee, Bad Bunny, and so on. And she's also an artist. So we have an amazing exhibition right now in São Paulo. Some stuff for kids, a room only dedicated to creativity, where we focus a lot on DNA. And some other space that we are opening. This is all part of retail, which is an experiential retail too, that opened also in December. And we are right now opening at the pace of one new venue a month until the end of the year, so we complete the compound. And finally, this is our B2B building, where we have like 180 members. We are like big corps connected with startups in general and with government, where we help people like doing the transition to regeneration and sustainability. This is our space called Aya. So let's focus on Rio right now, which is, I think, the most interesting and more connected part to what you are discussing since 1 or 2 days here in the south of Brazil. So our project is called Mata Maravilha. Rio is a beautiful city, an amazing city, a very attractive and sexy destination, but very low infrastructure in general, unfortunately, because it's been a city that has been a bit decadent since years, in fact, since decades, because the government and the capital moved from Rio to other destination in Brasilia. Then the economy of media, where global was very strong, went to digital, and so the shift of this media economy lost a bit of its grip. Same story with oil and gas. So it ended up being a beautiful city, but low economic activities in general. And we see a possibility to do something where we merge the real lifestyle, which is amazing. Everybody wants this real lifestyle in life, to unique tech ecosystem. So our product in Rio is quite different from São Paulo, because as there's not much infrastructure in Rio and not much money in Rio too, in terms of consumption, we are also building a big project which is linked to tech, green tech, to try to attract the digital nomads of the world. So this is the picture of part of the land that we own. We already own part of the land. Other part will be done and in terms of acquisition, and part will be also the public, meaning government and the town hall of Rio will going to give us a bit of land around our land. And this is a project that we prepare to build. So it goes with a part of verticalization, which is important for us in our economic model. We create a lagoon here, as you can see, in fact, one big and one small one, because we can't, unfortunately, swim in this part of the city of Rio, which is called Baía de Guanabara. And the vision we have in Rio is transforming the city into a global hub for conscious innovation. We want to leverage the most beautiful city in the world, we believe Rio is, and also always mix the city with the lifestyle that we're doing in São Paulo, but in this case, with a lot of infra for technology. In a glimpse, some big numbers. So we are talking about São Paulo was a land of 40,000 square meters. Rio is almost 300,000 square meters. So it's like 8 times the size of São Paulo in terms of land. It's like a big land. We're gonna invade with nature. So we have the project of planting 21 hectares of forest in front of the sea because all the city has been deserted by nature. So we always come back with nature. 70% of our areas will be green areas. We are looking for almost 150,000 square meters of residents, so people living in our places. This is the case in São Paulo, but in a more marginal way. The investment, right now we are reshuffling the investment, will be around 7.5 billion reais finally, so it's going to be 1.2, 1.3 billion dollar. And it's a project that we will deliver until 2031. This is the vision of the full ecosystem. We're going to have a lot of residents, so we are aiming 2,500 residents. Also having people visiting us or studying with us inside the compound because we are going to have a university here. So 2,000 creators or students with us. We have to have connection with at least 10,000 tech engineers and scientists using our facilities here. And we should have around 8,000 people working inside the compound. In São Paulo, we're going to have 3,500 people working. We already have like 2,000 people working for us in São Paulo. We're going to have 4 hotels, 3 convention centers, 2 cultural centers, 2 concert halls, 15 studios, which are studios for creators, 5 galleries, artist residencies, incubator for sure, tech incubator, a regenerative hub, the same way we have it in São Paulo, with not dedicated to tech and so on. We have this vision of regeneration. So let's say that our grid is regenerative in general in terms of climate and energy. So we are already negotiating with partners like BYD, for instance, to help the clean grid system in terms of electricity, having autonomous cars with them as a fleet too inside the compound. All the material we are working with the architect as this drive of like being like carbon neutralized, having some also waste management, something we already have in São Paulo, but also a vision of sustainability through the well-being in general, which is very important for us. We never disconnect the tech part of the life part. And then, as I was saying, the energy grid and the water grid are key. And we're working with Hugo on making it a digital zone. This project exists in a very niched way in Rio, already in this zone, but we want to scale that at a different level. So meaning to have the ability to build this community of visionary builders with people like you guys and being a new reference globally, as we already have like some cities where we have this kind of dynamic and making it a growing ecosystem. So it has to do with investment, but also investment from the state and from the city with whom we are negotiating this investment. Investment also from the big tech companies. We made last year a kind of roadshow with the mayor of Rio and also Fernando Haddad, this is the Minister of Finance, almost the Prime Minister in Brazil, when we met all the big leaders of the big techs, like CEOs or owners of the big tech, or mainly on the West Coast. We did that from San Francisco to Seattle. And in this aspect, we are working on a project on having digital residencies, also simplify aspect of policies that help to attract small capital. We are working on enabling facilitated and simplified legal structures and also more protection in terms of IPs, for instance, through smart contracts. We do that also with the government. Integrated digital finance, decentralized and sovereign internet infrastructure. So we are partnering with a big data center, which used to be the global media company data center called LAR. So we can plug this data center directly to our compound. And as I was saying, also some IPs protection. And the pillars of our project is linked to urban forests, green technology, lifestyle, hospitality, and also part of education and community, because in every place we get inserted, we need to also work naturally with the local context. So in Rio, definitely we need to work a lot in terms of community and education. And I'm going to show you some image of the project too. The first one is a forest, so we're going to implement two different parts inside the city, one in front of the sea and one elevated. The one elevated is like immersive walkway. If I visualize a compound with a lot of different like sensation, we want some sand all around and people walking barefoot in our compound, as you can see. This is so the back of the port, which is the second part in front of the sea with the lagoons. Then all the infrastructure for business, so different from São Paulo, we only have one building for business. Here we're going to use some big docks in front of the sea and also big buildings, some already existing that we're going to retrofit, some of others we're going to build to create this incubation space, working space, co-working space, and also event spaces, because the city of Rio is not very keen in terms of event spaces. Some image that we've been working with the architects already. So this is a regenerative hub, that the same kind of building that we have in São Paulo. Then the lifestyle part, which is fundamental for us, because we are looking at like having like a very qualitative and enchanting life where beauty is all around people who are working. So we have a big space of longevity, 7,000 square meters. In São Paulo, it's only 1,500 square meters. A big space of culture. So it's museum, it's residencies, it's shows. So we build venues for shows. It's immersive art with technology, like big LED screens, the same way we have in São Paulo. A big pool of F&B and a bit of retail. Some images here too. Fast. And finally, the residential, which is very important to have the tech people living with us here. And in terms of price positioning, it's quite accessible. So it's like much cheaper than what we do in São Paulo. So we're aiming a square meter here. People will rent or cool, but for people who would like to buy, the nomads will not necessarily buy. But we are aiming a square meter at $4,000 a square meter, which is for the kind of like thing that we're going to deliver quite accessible for Rio, which is a very expensive city in terms of real estate, even more expensive than São Paulo in some of the neighborhoods. And we really need this verticalization. Right now, we put in law the change of what we call plano director, which is the plan of the city to be to have the right to build skyscrapers in Rio, which is not the case today. The limitation today is around 50 to 60 meter high. So here we have 2 towers, 280 meters. They are fundamental for us in terms of like economical model. If we don't do this tower, we can. We should have. So the law has been presented to the council and inside the town hall. We should have the result and the vote of this law in June. It's going to be quite polemic for Rio, but I think the city needs to go forward and start to have like this kind of activities. The base of our property is today a very industrial and old mill that we already own, and we transform it into a hotel. This is some image of the mill. And then the space of education and community, where we want to build 2 big areas with a university inside the compound, and also partnership with the community. So we're also going to build, and we're already talking with big leaders inside the communities, a kind of councils for the community, where we could like connect totally the compound to the city and the community. Historically, the first favela of Brazil is like maybe like 200 meters from our compound. And this is the timeline of the project, where we would like to start to build second semester of next year, and we start with small retrofits, which allows us to open first thing in 2027, and we end the delivery of all the compound in 2032 for the second residential tower. We finance it partly with equity, partly with debt in Brazil, but with like kind of like government debt, which are cheaper in terms of like interest rate than the normal rates in Brazil, which runs today around 19 to 20% a year, which is almost unbearable. And part of the financing is auto-financing that we do with the residencies. For instance, when we start to sell the first tower, it helps us like build the second. And this is a team of architects with whom we are already working on this project. So all the renders you've seen are done with these guys. So we've got the manager, the amazing guy for retail. It's part of São Paulo. Philippe Stark is super well known, was the best designer in the world. Rudi Ricciotti is an amazing guy with whom we did the regenerative building in São Paulo too. Thomas Cesarwick is super well known for Hong Kong and other things like that. The Campana's brother, Brazilian guy. Marco is also half Brazilian guy who's doing amazing things with nature. The Safdie family has done a lot of good things too. And Carlos Ratti is the guy who won the takeover on this. So I think that's it. I tried to do it quite fast, so maybe you can have some questions.
Wow, I can see everybody's amazed over here. Every time I hear you speak and I see what you guys are up to, it's amazing. How many of you have been at Rosewood or at the São Paulo buildings? Okay, so only a few. There's very few places I like to go in São Paulo. I mean, you guys have made an amazing place. So I think we can open for 1 or 2 questions. If you have a spare few minutes, would anyone like to make a question? I have a few here, so let's go.
Oh, hi there. I just would like to know if you are addressing the pollution of the area right there on the sea and cleaning the smell.
I'm not sure I heard. It's about the pollution of the Baía de Guanabara?
Yes, and the smell of the Bahia too.
Okay, we are in fact with Carlo Ratti, which is the last actor we were talking, and also with some very advanced people in terms of understanding of nature. For instance, for São Paulo, we end up planting trees at 100, 250 meters high, trees of 30 to 40 square meters high, and with winds of 150 kilometers per hour. So with that, we work with people like Mancuso, for instance, and engineers to see how we can plant a tree at 200 meters high, and this tree will grow, etc. So with the same kind of people, scientists, we are working how we will filter. So our idea, and we already some plans, will be to filter the sea to create the lagoon. And then in one of the render, you can see the kind of base, external base in the middle of the sea. This is a base where we are working also to use the sea as an element that can basically help us eat and cool and make heat and cold through the sea for part of our equipment. So this is the idea we have. We already started studying it. It's totally feasible, and right now we're going to get into the project for real. But scientifically wise, it's totally feasible.
Hi. You show us the project in Rio and São Paulo. So what about the project in Camboriú? Do you have any information?
It takes time. Camboriú, as you know, the city is overbuilt. So we are talking with a family of a land, which is a land at the entrance of the city, but it's already a forest. So it's not like the big Camboriú that we know. But we need to align the interest of the family to be able to start the project. So this is from all the product I saw at the beginning, this is Camboriú and one more product are not signed projects. The other ones, either we own the land or we have a signed contract. Camboriú is not the case already, and Riyadh is not the case.
Amazing, David. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're welcome to join. IPCity is going to go until 1st of May, so we would love to invite you to visit us during the next upcoming weeks. I know you're busy, but yeah, we're very excited to support Mata, and we really love what you guys are doing. We're going to go into our next talk, but
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.